Hey, what's up guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist, and today we're going to be doing some Time Wizard test hands. I'm really excited for this one because this is actually Gloomba331's Patreon request test hand video for the month. I'm really excited for this one because this deck is absolutely crazy in what it can actually do, and it is absolutely one of the funnest decks I've ever made in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! To summon out some crazy cards. And if you guys ever wanted to play the nostalgic Joey Wheeler deck, this is the Joey Wheeler deck if you ever wanted to play one. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell near so you can become part of Notification Squad, and definitely give Gloomba some love down in the comments down below. And don't forget to check out the Patreon just like Gloomba did, where you can get all sorts of awesome rewards like getting your name description for every single video, getting a signed card in the mail, or even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron along with test hands. So thank you so much Gloomba for requesting this one, and we're going to get straight on into this. So like I said, this deck is absolutely crazy. It can actually summon, and I flipped straight to it, with a 2-card combo that I will show in this deck profile, or not in this deck profile, but these test hands. I'm going to show you guys the 2-card combo to actually summon Dark Sage. It is extremely easy to actually summon this card out, and I know that I'm saying that, but it really is easy to summon one of the hardest cards in the entire game to summon in this particular deck. So we're going to get straight on into this, and stay tuned to see when we summon the Dark Sage. So let's go ahead and see what we can actually do with some test hands and see what we can pull off. Because you're playing stuff like Baby Dragon, you're playing Red Eyes Black Dragon in the deck, you're playing Time Wizard, you're playing Thousand Dragon. I mean, you're like old school Duel Monsters, Duelist Kingdom Joey Wheeler deck modernized to be really, really amazing. So let's go ahead and shuffle the deck up and see what we can actually do. Go ahead and pile shuffle really quick because you want to make sure you pile shuffle so you don't brick, because bricking is bad and you don't want to do it. So let's go ahead and see what we can do with this particular test hand, because this test hand is going to be super fun and I am excited to show you guys this. And we're not going to use a coin in this to actually do the flip. What we're going to do is we're going to use that Hermos dice over here, and I'm going to go ahead and establish the rules. When we roll, even numbers or odd numbers are going to be tails. Odd is tails and even is heads. Odd is tails, even is heads, okay? So that's important for you guys to remember, because I don't want to flip a coin during this middle of this test hand and then lose the coin. So I figured I would use a dice instead because it'd be easier to find. So let's go ahead and flip this around and see what we can actually do, and see how we can actually go ahead and see if we can get off some crazy plays. So if we don't immediately draw into the actual 2-card combo to be able to summon Dark Sage, I will show it in the video, but you gotta watch for it. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and draw into the Time Wizard, which is the best card in the entire deck. And we're going to go ahead and draw into Polymerization, which is already boding very well. A copy of Starlight Road. This was actually Gloomba's surprise tech of the deck. They were like, hey, do this. Throw this card in there and it'll be really good, because if Time Wizard's effect goes bad, you have Starlight Road to be able to kind of rebound from it if you want to turn off the Time Wizard after you set this card. So we're going to go ahead and draw into the next one, Monster Reborn. And if you draw into any monster, we're okay. We draw into a bit. Oh, we drew in a Baby Dragon. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and see. This is why this deck is cool. Like, you literally drew Thousand Dragon in your hand. Like, that is awesome. That hand, besides this looks like old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Back from like 2004 Yu-Gi-Oh! Right here in my hand. Like, that's awesome. So let's go ahead and see what we can actually do with this particular hand. So what you can do very simply is you have a couple of different plays in your hand that you can actually go off with. And I'm going to show you guys the couple of plays, and then I'll show you what I would personally do. If you're going first, you're going to want to go a little bit more defensive in this particular play, but you have a couple of different ways that you can play the hand. So I would go ahead and use the Polymerization on my side of the field, and I would fuse these two away, and you can summon out a copy of Thousand Dragon if you want to. Now, it's a 2400 beat stick. It doesn't do a whole lot. It's just a 2400 beat stick that you can put in attack or defense. It is a vanilla. You can go that route with the Polymerization, or you can put that back, and you can do a little bit more of a link play with this deck where you normal summon out the copy of Baby Dragon and turn it into an effect monster with your copy of Imduk. Imduk being an effect monster is really, really beneficial, because now you can use the Polymerization with the copy of Time Wizard and the copy of Imduk to be able to send them to the graveyard and then summon your copy of Time Wizard of Tomorrow. Now, once you summon Time Wizard of Tomorrow, you can set the copy of Starlight Road and pass. Now, that's a very simplistic hand that we actually drew. We didn't draw any crazy combo pieces, but it's a really nostalgic, awesome hand. But if our opponent goes off into their next turn and they don't completely OTK us, we can still win with this hand, which is what's really cool. So if we go into the next turn and our opponent does destroy our copy of Time Wizard tomorrow, and let's just go ahead and say that they have a insane board and they have 16,000 points of damage on board. Well, no, because that would OTK us. Let's say that they have a decent board. Let's go ahead and draw for turn. They don't have OTK, but they have a decent board. We're going to draw into a Dragon's Mirror. Okay, that's pretty cool. We're going to go ahead and draw into Dragon's Mirror, and we're going to activate Monster Reborn and drop the copy of Time Wizard tomorrow back on our side of the field. Now you can go ahead and activate the copy of your Dragon's Mirror and special summon out the copy of Thousand Dragon to your side of the field, banishing both of these in the graveyard, and you just get to resolve its effect. Or, instead of summoning this back to your side of the field, you can have a backup play with the copy of your Dragon's Mirror. So this was our hand right here, and this was in the graveyard. Let's go this route, actually. Let's go ahead and use Monster Reborn and bring back our copy of Time Wizard to our side of the field. Now, once you summon that copy of Time Wizard, your opponent's going to go, wait, are you serious right now? And I'm going to go, yeah, let's do this. Remember, tails, heads. Tails is odd, heads is even. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to call tails. We got tails. Okay, so tails destroy every single monster opponent's side of the field, and then they take damage equal to the amount of the monsters that they controlled, which is really cool. Or excuse me, once per turn, you can toss a coin, call it, and if you call it right, destroy all monsters your opponent controls, and if you call it wrong, destroy as many monsters you control as possible, and if you do, you take the damage equal to half the monsters that were destroyed. So it don't take anything, but they do destroy all their cards on their side of the field. But if it went bad, we had the copy of Starlight Road that we could then flip and summon out a copy of Stardust Dragon and negate this card, and it would destroy itself, which is still pretty good to get a Stardust Dragon for free, essentially, if that went poorly for us. So you had a backup play if it did go bad. Now you have the copy of Dragon's Mirror that you can drop Dragon's Mirror and banish your copy of your Baby Dragon and your Time Wizard to be able to go off into an additional play to summon to your side of the field a copy of Thousand Dragon, and then you can go after your opponent with the Thousand Dragon for 2,400 because you just blew their board. They have nothing left. You can just attack them for 2,400 to summon this card out to your side of the field. Now, if they don't do anything or they do destroy this card, then it goes to the graveyard and we top deck and we draw into a copy of Dark Magician, and you're kind of in a bad spot at that point. But you did blow their board, and you summon a Thousand Dragon, and you summon Time Wizard tomorrow. So you did do pretty decent. Like, you didn't do bad with this, but for a Time Wizard deck, that wasn't terrible. That was not terrible at all, what you actually established, and you had a backup play thanks to Gloomba with that copy of Starlight Road for suggesting that to put in the deck to be able to protect yourself. Now, another card that I considered putting in here was Barrel Behind the Door, because Barrel Behind the Door would actually make your opponent take the damage instead of you for your monsters that were being destroyed. But I figured 250 was not going to be that great to be able to just basically stop our card. So let's go ahead and do another test hand and see what we can do. Actually, if we don't draw into it in the very next test hand, we'll go ahead and do the Dark Sage combo. I think we'll draw into it though, so let's see. We're going to go ahead and see what we can do. We're going to draw on a Keeper Dragon Magic, Magical Eyes Fusion, Unexpected Die, Keeper Dragon Magic, and Fusion Deployment. So we didn't draw into it. We drew one of the two pieces that we needed. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and activate the copy of Unexpected Die. Now, Unexpected Die is why Baby Dragon is good, because you can special summon a Baby Dragon to your side of the field. Now, is it the best vanilla to summon? No. But is it really good in the deck to actually summon this card? Heck yeah, it is. So now we're going to go ahead and activate our copy, or normal summon our copy of the Keeper Dragon Magic, and ditch a copy of Keeper Dragon Magic to the graveyard to then add a Polymerization from our deck to our hand, which is going to help out a lot in this particular scenario. Now, for the rest of the turn, after you activate the copy of Keeper Dragon Magic, once you reveal a card in your extra deck to special summon, you can't summon any other monsters except for fusion monsters. So I'm going to go ahead, before I resolve the effect, I'm going to go ahead and send this to graveyard and summon a copy of Imduk back, because Imduk is going to be really helpful to get onto our side of the field. And now I'm going to reveal the copy of Thousand Dragon in the extra deck to be able to go into an additional play. Actually, no, I could just leave it like that and link into another card. Let's go ahead and link these two away and summon a copy of Anaconda. You can get the search of the effect because this card has the ability that if this card is normal summon, you can discard a card to add a Polymerization, normal spell, or a fusion spell from your deck to your hand period, and then it has another effect to be able to do the other thing where you reveal the card in your extra deck to special summon a card back from the graveyard that is listed as a fusion material, but its effect states at the bottom that you can only use each effective keeper of dragon magic once per turn, and you cannot special summon a monster in the extra deck except for fusion monsters the turn you activate either of these fusion effects. So you can't actually get the search off of that card. So we're going to go ahead and put the keeper of dragon magic back in our hand and put the polymerization back in the deck, because that's actually not the optimal play. The optimal play would actually be to do this. We're going to go ahead and backtrack a little bit and put this on the top of the deck, put this back in our hand, and put this back in our hand, and we're going to go ahead and do this. Do Unexpected Die, special summon out the copy of Baby Dragon, normal summon the keeper of dragon magic, link this away, summon the copy of Mduk, link these two away, summon our copy of Anaconda, and then use Anaconda's effect to be able to go into a copy of... Where is it? We're going to send that to the graveyard. We're going to send this to the graveyard, and we're going to send this to the graveyard. And we're actually going to summon Dragoons, because Dragoons is actually kind of helpful in the deck because it can live through a Time Wizard Blast, which is kind of cool, or a Time Magic, which is pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead and summon out a copy of Dragoons going first. And now that we've summoned Dragoons, we're going to go ahead and let our opponent go, which is not going to be that big of a deal, because we're going to have a lot of different plays actually with this particular hand. So once our opponent goes and they can't out the Dragoons, we're going to go ahead and draw into a copy. Actually, we didn't shuffle. So let's go ahead and shuffle that really quick. And we're going to go ahead and draw into a copy of Magician's Souls. So now that we draw Magician's Souls, you have a couple of different options here. You can go ahead and ditch these two, which if you do ditch these two and you send a level 7 Dark Magician from your deck to the graveyard, which you're going to send this, you're going to go ahead and shuffle the deck, and then you're going to draw 2, which is going to be Unexpected Die and Fusion Deployment. That's why I usually don't resolve that effect unless I need to link summon with this card, or I have cards like extra Unexpected Dies in my hand. I'm going to go ahead and activate the copy of Fusion Deployment to special summon from my deck a copy of Time Wizard, because this card is going to come in really, really, really handy in the deck. So once we go ahead and summon that copy of Time Wizard, because you can reveal Time Wizard of Tomorrow or Thousand Dragon to summon it to your side of the field, you can immediately summon this card and then call it again. Heads or tails. We're going to call tails again. Remember, odd is tails, even, or odd is tails, even is heads. We're going to call tails, and we're going to get it wrong. So once we get it wrong, it's only going to destroy these two monsters on our side of the field, because Dragoons doesn't get destroyed by card effects. So that's totally fine. It's okay. We only lost 500 life points and the risk of destroying our opponent's field. Then we can drop Magical Eyes Fusion if we want to, and go ahead and summon another Dragoons, and our opponent's like, oh, I'm out of the woods, and you're like, haha, nope. No, you're not. I'm going to summon Dragoons again. That's totally fine, because I can special summon fusion monsters still. That's really cool. And then if you want to, you can normal summon out the copy of the Keeper, because you didn't activate anything that wouldn't let you summon the Keeper. Discard the copy of Souls to the graveyard. Use your copy of Keeper to search Polymerization. Reveal in the extra deck a copy of Thousand Dragon, and then special summon back from the graveyard a copy of your the Time Wizard, which is going to be pretty good just to get your copy of Time Wizard on your side of the field, because it's going to let you fusion summon again and try this all over again, because you have an effect monster. Now this is going to be face down, keep in mind, and this is going to be face up. You still have another play to go into a copy of Time Wizard of Tomorrow, so you have another chance with this card. So what we're going to do with this one is once per turn, when your opponent controls a fusion, or when this card is fusion summoned, you can toss a coin, call it, destroy any monsters on the field as possible, and if you do, you inflict damage equal to half the total attack of the person that called it wrong. So like if I roll, I'm going to call odd. I'm going to call odd again, which remember, odd, even is even numbers is heads, and then tails is odd numbers. I'm going to call it odd again. We're going to roll, and we're going to get it right, and we're going to destroy every card on the field that's possible, including itself, and we're going to destroy our opponent's like entire hopes and dreams, because we destroy everything and then go in with double Dragoons against our opponent and win the game. So that's pretty much it for that test hand. Let me go ahead and show you guys really quickly how to summon a copy of the really amazing Dark Sage, because it's actually pretty easy. There's an easy way, and then there's a risky way. So I'm going to show you guys the easy way, and then I'm going to show you the risky way. Now the easy way is 1 card. The hard way is 2 cards. So what we're going to do, or 3 cards, I mean. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the easy way on the field, and I'm going to put the hard way, or not the hard way, but I'm going to put the easy way on top, and I'm going to put the hard way on the field. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and have these two cards in our hand, Fusion Deployment and Time Wizard. This is the easiest way to actually summon Dark Sage in the entire game. So we're going to go ahead and put this on top. Normal summon out the copy of Time Wizard, activate Fusion Deployment, special summon Dark Magician from the deck, and then once you special summon Dark Magician from the deck, you're going to use your copy of Time Wizard's effect. And you're going to call even. Remember, this is tails, this is heads. We're going to call odd, we're going to roll, we got it wrong. Now that would destroy both of these cards, and you would take right at 1,500 life points, because you deal half the amount. So, but if we call it wrong and we do the easy way, you get a second chance. So we're going to do the second chance. I'm going to call odd again, and we're going to get it wrong. And now I get a second chance. And we're going to call odd, and we're going to get it wrong. And we go ahead and destroy the field. But if you get it right, well, if you get it right, which it all comes down to the coin toss. That's the whole point of the deck. If you do get it right, which I'm going to call heads, I guess. Heads right there. Tails. Oh, that dice does not want to work with me. We're going to go ahead and say that we got it right. And if we get it right, we're going to go ahead and special summon out a copy of Dark Sage by tributing the Dark Magician on our side of the field, because 1,000 years have passed, and with age breeds knowledge, or brings knowledge, to summon to our side of the field the Ancient One, Dark Sage, which is going to let us search in our deck a copy of any spell card. You can grab any spell card you want and add it from your deck to your hand, which I'm going to grab Monster Reborn, and then I'm going to activate that copy of Monster Reborn and bring back the Dark Magician to my side of the field. And you have the easy way and the hard way. So the easy way, like I said, you just activate Fusion Deployment. The easy way is to have all three of these cards, and the hard way is just to have these two in your hand and resolve it this way, where you have this. This just gives you a second chance if you call it wrong, which we're going to go tails, and we get it right, and we get the Dark Sage right off the bat, and we get Monster Reborn to bring back our copy of Dark Magician, and you get a field like this. Now that feels really cool to summon Dark Sage onto our side of the field, because you're getting one of the hardest cards and the riskiest cards in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! To actually summon on your side of the field. So let's go ahead and do one more shuffle, one more test hand, and see if we can actually pull off for one last one for Gloomba. Let's go ahead and shuffle this one real good. See if we can get a good one. See if we can get a really neat one. So we're going to go ahead and draw. We're going to draw into Red Eyes Fusion. That's already not bad. Time Wizard, Starlight Road, Baby Dragon, and a Dark Magician. So you drew 2 bricks, and you have a decent hand because you have the Red Eyes Fusion, which you can go ahead and activate the copy of Red Eyes Fusion, and you can back it up. This is actually really cool. This hand is, you look at it and it's like, oh, that's bad. No, it's not. Red Eyes Fusion is going to resolve. You're going to go ahead and send from your deck to the graveyard a copy of Dark Magician and a Red Eyes Black Dragon from your deck to the graveyard. Got to play those original ones, original artworks. And we're going to summon out a copy of our Dragoons to our side of the field. And then we're going to pass. You're going to sit on that Dragoons with a copy of the Starlight Road, play around the Mech Knight. And we're going to go ahead and pass against our opponent. Now, once they go, they're going to go ahead and do whatever they want to do. And we have multiple negates, which we can discard the copy of our Baby Dragon to be able to discard to the graveyard. It's not a big deal. And we're going to go ahead and draw. We're going to go ahead and draw into a copy of Called by the Grave. And now we're going to normal summon out our copy of Time Wizard. These combo so well together. I don't know why these are so good together. I guess this goes with anything, but hey, whatever. And then you're going to go ahead and use this, and you're going to call it. We're going to call, remember, odd, even. We're going to go ahead and roll. I'm going to call odd. We got it right. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and use the copy of Time Wizard, blow our opponent's board. But if we called it wrong, you could flip this face up, and then you could summon out a copy of the Stardust Dragon, and it would negate the Time Wizard. And when a card or effect is activated that would destroy 2 or more cards you control, negate the effect, and if you destroyed that card. So we would destroy the Time Wizard, and we get a Stardust Dragon and a Red Eyes Dark Dragoon on our side of the field, and you have the Call by the Grave to stop a hand trap against you. And you have a Dark Magician to discard. You get 2 pops here, and you can attack your opponent here. But if you didn't call it wrong, this would stay set, and then this would go back to the extra deck, and you just go after your opponent with these 2 on your opponent's side of the field, and you pretty much win because you'd have 2 pops here that would inflict damage to your opponent. You blew board, and if it didn't go off well, you'd still get 2 pops, and you'd have the copy of Stardust Dragon to back up your copy of Dragoons, which would be more than enough to deal with your opponent. And if we draw on to our next card. We draw on a Dragon's Mirror, which then you can activate, banish these from your graveyard, and then summon a copy of our Thousand Dragon, which is a viable card in this deck, which is really weird to actually get out with our copy of Dragon's Mirror. And it's super cool. Like, you're playing, like, look at this. Before we end the video, I kind of want to show you guys this because this is just super cool. Gloomba was just like, hey, make it nostalgic, make it cool. So I'm just going to show you guys this really quickly to show you how nostalgic of a Joey Wheeler deck you actually get when you play this deck, because it is just ridiculously cool to actually play this deck, because it's just super cool, because you have so many different like ways to play this deck, and it's just really amazing. All the nostalgia that you have that are just old school Joey Wheeler cards that you can play in this deck to make it like a really neat Joey Wheeler deck. So you have all these different like cards that you can play in the deck to make it like a Yugi and a Joey deck, where you have these two that was in the duel with Joey Wheeler, that he actually summoned both of these. The only thing that I can make this more nostalgic with is to throw in a copy of Summon Skull in the deck and play Black Skull Dragon in the extra deck, which you can do if you want to, because Red Eyes Fusion and your copy of your Fusion deployment would get Summon Skull out on your side of the field, which I considered doing in the deck, but I didn't want to play that many bricks in the deck with the copies of Dark Magician and everything else. So I think that's going to round it out for this one, guys. I hope you did enjoy this one. It was super fun to do this one, guys, because you never knew kind of with the coin toss or the dice roll in this instance what you were actually going to get, and you had to use the Heramos dice for this because it's Joey Wheeler again. And there's something else you could throw in here. You could throw in the Claw of Heramos if you wanted to make it even more nostalgic, because you can go into Time Magic Hammer or the Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword. Either one of those cards are kind of neat to summon in the deck, but I didn't want to go that route because I kind of wanted to lean really heavily on Time Wizard and kind of like a backup with Dragoons to make it work really well. So anyways, guys, I hope you did enjoy this one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below where you have all those awesome rewards, and definitely give Gloomba some love down in the comments down below, because this was totally their idea, and I'm really excited that they suggested this one to me, because I am so excited to actually build this deck because it is so cool to play with. And we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.